name's Rohila, and thank you again for tuning into another one of these video series. And today's is about the importance of making lists. So by now, I've talked a lot about personal development and certain things that you can do to start setting up some stuff. Talked about the importance of the 3.5 hours that you get. But today, it's going to be about the importance of lists, because making lists are huge. I can say that making lists was probably one of the most effective things I've ever done in my life, and it's completely transformed how I approach every single day. And so I'll give some great tips on how to do that. So first off, it's important to know that ineffective people do not set and make lists. They just don't. They think that they have it all up here, and so you don't need to write stuff down. You don't need to make some checklists. But here's the thing, when you're in the moment, it's out the window. You're not thinking about your certain lists. And so a fantastic example is, how many times have you looked at the refrigerator, right? You open it up and you're like, okay, I need milk, eggs, cheese, sour cream. You just list off the 6-7 different things that you need, and you're like, okay, got it, good. And then you get to the grocery store, right? And you're shopping around for different things, and then you buy everything that you need, and you come home and you forgot one of the things, right? That happens all the time because we don't make lists, because we think we rely too much on this. But when you're in the moment, this goes out the window. So take the time, make lists. Ineffective people don't. If you're trying to be an effective person and live an extraordinary life, you have to do it. Lists are important. Your phone. Doesn't take a lot of time to just update this, right? And make a quick note to yourself. There's so many apps now that will even remind you of certain things. I have a Windows phone, so I can just say, hey, Cortana, remind me when I get to Fred Meyer that I need to buy milk, right? Or whatever the case may be. We all have different list techniques. This is a fantastic tool. We all have one in our pockets. Use it. Don't forget the power of paper. That's important too. How easy is it just to write stuff down? It's not that hard. But lists are important. And I'm not just talking about grocery lists. I'm talking about more than that, because this is all about living an extraordinary life. And so when you're thinking about that kind of stuff, what about your to-do list? What about your goals list? What about your dreams list? All these things are super important. I work on one called a master list. And what that is it's everything that I have to do. What traditional people call a to-do list. I learned from this amazing book, one of the most powerful books I've ever read, called something like, if you don't, it's a long title, if you don't have the time to do it right in the first place, when will you find the time to do it again? Something along those lines. It's a book that's made a tremendous impact on my life. So again, ineffective people don't make lists, and you don't want to be one of them, right? Okay. When you don't make lists, let's take a look at some of the things that you struggle with. So you spend too much time on the unimportant things. And going back to that grocery store example, now you're like, what was it? I know that I forgot something. I knew I want to come in with 7 different items that I had to get, and now I only have 5 in my basket. What was it? And you're wasting time. Or how many times do you come home and you're like, you know what? I don't have anything to do. I'm just going to watch some TV. And then you watch some TV, and then you're like, oh my God, I forgot to do this one thing. Make lists, and by making lists, you won't spend time on unimportant things. Same thing at work. Right next to my computer, I have a list of things that I need to do. And at the end of every one, I cross it off. I know that I got that done. So then in those moments of, what do I need to do? I've got my complete list. And if it weren't for that, I would have forgotten a long time ago. It's also an effective tool, because what's the number one way that people keep track of tasks and to-do lists at work? It's not making lists. It's email. So many people at work will keep emails in their inbox as mental reminders of different tasks that they have to do. Very, very ineffective. That's how you end up with 100+ emails in your inbox. And for those of you who are like, 100 emails in my inbox, I wish I had that. I've got more. Is that effective or not effective? A lot of people find great pride in the fact that they have so many emails in their inbox. If I have any more than 10, it drives me nuts. And trust me when I say I'm busy, I'm busy. So for me, having an inbox full of emails is highly ineffective. And so because I'm making lists, I'm not spending time on unimportant things. And here's the other thing. If you don't make lists, you're going to spend too much time searching for things to do. And so with that, it's really easy for us to make a list of 1 or 2 items that we need to do, right? But it's easier not to do it, so we're not going to do it. And with that, a lot of times we're searching for stuff to do. Okay, I've got some free time. I know I need to make some house improvements, but where should I start? What do I do? Or I know I want to go on vacation at the end of the year. Well, that's great. Okay, what do I need to do first? I guess I should probably talk to some travel agencies or whatever. Anyways, what I'm trying to get to is if you're not making lists, not only are you ineffective, but you're going to waste a lot of time on thinking about what to do and searching for things to do. It's super easy. Just make a list. Make sure you keep it in the same spot, and you always can go to it for reference. There's a couple different lists that I keep, and I'll tell you where I keep them. So one is on my refrigerator. That's my shopping list. One is next to my computer at work. That's my work to-do list. One is called my master list that I keep at home next to my computer. It's also synced up with my cell phone, so I have that list. I use Wunderlist for my apps, for the main app that I use, and I always keep a printout at my desk at home in my home office so I can make quick references. And then the last list that I keep is next to my nightstand, and that's my dream list. That's my to-do list. And so at the end of the day, I like to review that and say, what steps did I take forward today to move towards my goals? So with that, it's all about lists. I know this is kind of a dry, boring subject. Even as I said it, I don't know why I chose that, but hopefully you found some value in it, because I do know lists have made a huge impact in my life. So make some lists, and with that, I hope you have a great day.